Hey, you guys, this is Neptune in Aries, and we're looking at the energy of this. This is March 30th until October 22nd. It will come back into Pisces, and then it will permanently move into Aries to 2039, January 26th, 2026, right? So this is March 30th, right after the Aries solar eclipse. And as you can see, it's early in the morning on the West Coast, right? Was that 4:58 a.m. So it'll be 7 in the morning, almost 8 o'clock in the morning on March 30th. So it lets you know right after the Aries solar eclipse, Neptune and Mercury. You see right here, sorry, let me get my mouth. They kind of remember Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. They're trading places. Great movie. That's another one to watch again, kind of deep spiritually if you really go and chew into that movie. You see the Mercury's is going into Pisces. Now this is on the West Coast, but it's a Pisces chart. So that's how we're going to look at it. It could shift longitude and latitude. If you're looking at it on the East Coast, potentially it may leave the Pisces ascendant and it could be in the Aquarius or maybe the Aries, but because it's so early, chances are it's either going to be in the Pisces or the Aquarius rising, but we're looking at it in the Pisces rising. But we're overall going to look at the energies. So Neptune in Aries. Are you ready? I mean, so
Yeah.
let's break down what Neptune is first. And it is immediately coming in a conjunction to the sun. Let me explain that first. And the lunar mansion behind it is the South Node, which makes it more spiritual, more past life energy, more willing to cut, separate, and divide what is not needed anymore. And Neptune is your spirituality, your creativity, your imagination. It's illusion, confusion, deception, delusion, pharmaceuticals, drugs, escapism, right? It is die, right? It's creativity, poetry, art, dance, music. It's nebulous, it's the oceans, right? So just so you know right now for the collective, Sedna is in Gemini. And Sedna is the godmother, goddess energy, right? That is down here. And what happens with, what happens with Sedna in, oh, wait a minute. Well, anyway, it's right here at 0 degrees. I thought when I brought up the chart, I clicked on a button, but sometimes, you miss these things. But yeah, so Sedna, just so you know, it's at 0 degrees in Gemini. You may have seen some news reports, but what's going to continue to happen, you're going to see, and I think there's been some talks about this, I've seen it on social media, more mermaids, more species, new minerals, new things that are high in nutrients, more than even sea moss coming up out of the oceans. I think 2 months, 3 months ago, if I remember, there were some pyramids found off the coast in the oceans off of Japan. This is what's going to start to happen. You're going to see more of these things. And it's going to be interesting because that Sedna, I guess not anymore. It was when it first came in, squaring Ceres, goddess of harvest, in Pisces. But with this energy, and the reason why I'm bringing that up, with Neptune and Aries, there's going to be new revelations about the oceans. And we are going to explore where we are not allowed to go to the North Pole between now and 2039, Neptune Aries. I think we're going to start to learn about what's really going on beyond the ice wall, whether it is giants, Nephilim, aliens, governments. If you notice, you could write a petition or try to apply for applications to explore the North Pole. You can only go to certain places. And a lot of people who do astro traveling, remote viewing, check in the North Pole. Whatever's going on is nefarious. Supposedly there could be other lands. I don't know if you heard of that explorer, Gil, I forgot his name, whatever, but he saw that there was a lot of plush green lands, and not like Greenland, the country, but, and notice the words. What did he say? Oh, we want to make Greenland red, white, and blue, right? China, Russia, America, they all get natural gas and things from under the waters in the North Pole. There's a lot of stuff going on there that they don't want us to know about. Neptune and Aries Aries is the pioneer maverick. It's going to move. It learns by touching and embracing things. When it's in Neptune, that means it's also going to do it with the oceans. This is where you can spiritually walk into your I am energy. It's in the second house of your values, your self-worth, how you earn money. This is where you're going to increase the Pluto Aquarius 20-year transit with Neptune at the same time. It is going to bring in, right, exploring the I am energy, where you will tap in deeply to God's source energy, consciousness within, not externally outside of you, not looking for something up in the sky to come and save you. All right? Now, what happened the last time Neptune was in Aries was, I think, 1861 to 1875. We had the formulation of the Red Cross, the Civil War, the Emancipation Proclamation. We had and it was 1828 where we started the first U.S. railroad, but in terms of the whole transcontinental, that was 1863, right? All around, right? What else? I said the Red Cross. There are a couple other things formed, but a lot of things happened and developed with Neptune and Aries. Remember I told you, it's not going to be a civil war like they're trying to hype up and promote, or trying to energy harvest and make you jump into that. That's why you have this guy with the People's Union USA. I don't know if some of you know about it, .org. I don't know enough about him to say I'm following him, but I think for our own economic empowerment, doesn't matter if you're independent, Democrat, Republican, it's about American citizens watching how you spend your dollars. Do not give your money to Amazon, Walmart, Target. Now the protest is against Nestle. They just announced a big recall as this protest was announced, right? So, and they do it all the time, because what have they been doing? They have been putting poisons and toxins in your food, your hair products. They attack women more than anybody, right? We had the revelation in the last year about the lead in the tampons. What about the makeup? All the products of hair for women. You guys, it's been an attack and assault on the divine feminine for forever. And I don't want to get into this because I'm going to share this, publicly for everybody. But if you know why they've been doing that, then you know, right? They want to attack the goddess in you. Do you understand? So you guys are the portals. We don't bring birth. We don't bring people from one realm to another. Women do. You understand that? So that tells you a lot about who women really are. Okay? So Neptune in Aries, this conjunct the sun, Neptune can dissipate the I am energy. Now, when the sun leaves, that's why I was saying that the Aries energy won't feel the same to 2039. And the Neptune will move slow because it's here to 2039, right? This right here, we're only talking about it to October. So overall, if you are an Aries Sun Moon rising and it's close to within 10 to 0 degrees, you're going to feel this energy. I don't know in October, it'll probably only get to 2-3 degrees the most as it retrogrades back. But trust me, when it comes back in till 2039, it's not going to feel the same Aries season, because every Aries season, the sun in transit, and you guys look in your houses where your Aries house is, the sun will always come and hit that Neptune every Aries season until 2039. So what does Neptune do to the sun? It makes you more spiritual. It can dissolve some of your assertive, aggressive I am energy. But the way Neptune is in Pisces, where it's at home, it's kind of like nebulous on top of nebulous, confusion on top of confusion. When it gets to Aries, it's a contradictory energy. So it's one way dissolving their sort of aggressive initiating energy, but in a one way, it's revealing and dissolving any illusions, any confusions, any deceptions. Is going to make you see, because we have to honor the Neptune planet, how it behaved in Pisces. In Aries, it's not going to behave that way. So that's why they initiated the railroad, initiated the Red Cross. Neptune will make Aries more of the spiritual pioneer maverick, right? It's going to take this assertive, aggressive energy. Remember, I told you earlier, now Aries may say sorry when it steps on your toe and it's zooming by you. Okay, right? So you Taurus risings, ooh, Robin, your dreams, girl, they're about to be on steroids. Neptune in the 12th house in Aries, and really wherever it's going to be. Aries are, they're the leaders of the zodiac, right? I mean, I had an Aries father up and out of the house 4 a.m. every morning. If you know Aries, men and women, but like I see it more with the men, even in their 40s, 50s, they're big kids. Their energy, the fountain, it's like the fountain of youth is in an Aries. Like they don't, when they get tired, it's like they will crash and burn at like 8, 9, 10 at night. But when they hit I probably think Aries in general, and this may be a stereotype, it's not anything I've researched. I think nobody sleeps better than an Aries. And that could be Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Aries in the 12th house. Like Robin, do you sleep well at night in general?
I do, for sure.
Yeah,
My mom, who was a Pisces,
yeah.
she used to say, "Oh, girl, I envy you."
That's right. Because
Because I could just sleep anywhere. Like if I get tired, I'm gone. I'm just like,
And it's because you've got the sun is exalted in Aries and it burns and burns and burns, but the
yeah.
energy is like everlasting, even stronger than the sun in Leo, you guys. It's out of all the exaltations, I think the sun in Aries is the best exaltation. Personally, that's what I'm saying because the sun is the most powerful planet. But remember, it is a mild malefic. So when the Neptune comes to it, it's going to increase the spirituality of the Aries energy in our lives, but it's also going to soften it in a way to 2039. This is
Well,
where,
that'll be
no,
nice.
no, yeah, I think it's going to be really nice. And so just think of this to October 22nd. Now, let's start to look at any of the major aspects, right? In Libra, in the eighth house, is there anything with the Neptune Aries that, now there's nothing opposing it, right? But again, just the next day, the Lilith is still there opposing the Chiron. Same themes, right? Neptune and Aries, we have got to, now with the Neptune here, we until October 22nd, because it'll be a different chart on January 26th. I'll do that in November or December's coffee talk. But what this is really speaking to is we have to trust our intuition about the relationships, business partnerships, and marriages, and how we are marketplace, contracts, negotiations, about how we are initiating those, right? This Neptune and Aries, now remember, this happens, and at the same time, right, we're dealing with this Pisces party in the house of self and our aura, right? Ceres, how we nurture and care for others, how we nurture and care for ourselves. It's the goddess of harvest, it's food. It's also our fashion, it's secret sorrows. I hate to say it, Neptune, and I mean, Ceres and Pisces is, unfortunately, I think this speaks to the essays and the child trafficking stuff. Whenever Ceres is in the first 4 to 5 houses, it shows where you can be. It's very rare, but trust me, I've had clients with it. It shows where you could be lost, abducted, stolen, or kidnapped. When it's in the first house, I hate to say this is when we have to watch out for the babies, the grandbabies, stuff like that. Okay. Pisces, it lets you know it's a worldwide market. This is not just an America problem, right? You know, we're getting more revelation with the royals and the ditties and this and that. Like, this is, you'll never get the real truth about the Epstein stuff because it involves too many powerful players. That's all I'm going to say.
Mhm.
Okay. It goes to the tippy top,
Yeah.
everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other thing I want you to know,
What, Eric, once again, what did you say was the indicator that for children or whatever being
Ceres got us
kidnapped?
a harvest, right?
No, 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 the kidnapping part.
Oh, that's the Ceres goddess of harvest. It
Oh,
it
okay.
represents
That
all
makes
those
sense.
things. So it's how you
Okay.
were nurtured and
Gotcha.
cared for as a child, and then how
Gotcha.
you will nurture and care for others. It's your food, it's your fashion. So Pisces at this time with the Neptune Aries energy until October, it's going to be more creative, more spiritual clothing, more free flowing. The food is going to be like more like, yeah, I'm open to, trying this, eating that. The Ceres and Pisces, though, on the ascendant, that rings an alarm to me because I've seen it. This could just be your children being lost in a mall for 30 minutes. Okay. It doesn't have to be something that's crazy, but when it's in Pisces, there's deception, there's confusion behind it. You're at Disneyland. My child was just here. Where'd they go? You understand? That's what I'm saying. So be mindful, be smart, be careful. Okay? Faith over fear. I just have to show you what I see, and that's just the reality of it. But this will increase the compassion, empathy, grace, and mercy at this time, and definitely for ourselves, spiritual discipline. The Venus Mercury retrograde at this time in the house of self, the I am energy, this is the introspection that how you need to move forward with Aries and Neptune till October 22nd. This is not the chart till 2039. That'll be January 26th. Okay? This is till October 22nd. We have got to, Venus, Mercury retrograde on the ascendant, we have got to value ourselves. We have to be introspective. We have to increase the spiritual practice and discipline. We have to, this is an opportunity through our spiritual practices to quantum leap, quantum jump, and Neptune Aries, initiate it. Speak it, manifest it. Remember, with your words, you are a co-creator, manifest. With this being in Aries, candlelight. Sit in a bathtub with your crystals, light the candle on the side. While you're in the tub, close your eyes or lightly, slightly close them and do your mantras, your prayers, your manifestations. Get a pencil and pad on the side of the bathtub, journal, 369 it, right? Nikola Tesla. And literally water, I guess you can call it water magic, but just like, crystals, Celtic sea salt, Epsom salt in the tub. And second house, your speech, your values, self-worth. Initiate your intuition, initiate being the pioneer maverick, assertively creating the new reality. You've got the support. This is the chart for the collective. We've got the support to initiate new beginnings, new spiritual practices, new ways of earning money, right? You're going to see. I'm not lying. This spiritual, the spiritual, if you ever thought about writing a spiritual book, talking about your experience with UFOs and aliens, making astrology jewelry, being a tarot card reader, being a soul contract reader, being a human design, Reiki master, astrologer, numerologist, this is the time. And between March 30th and October 22nd, you've got the fuel behind you to initiate it. Hence, let's look in the fifth house, right? We're talking about the Pisces rising, and let's see, what do we got here? We got the Jupiter in the fourth, Mars in Cancer in the fifth. Mars will give you the fuel for your emotional mind to initiate a very supportive, protecting, financial security Cancer. Taurus, Scorpio, Cancer, Capricorn, they're about the home, work, family, safety, security, the money. Those four signs, so much so. So Mars in the fifth house in Cancer, get in the flow. This Mars still trining the Saturn, and now even closer to trining the North Node. Okay? Still 27 degrees, but the Mars, that trine energy, you could use a 5, 7, 8 degree orb, right? So initiate your creativity and hobby from your heart chakra. Start your spiritual business. Take astrology classes. You want to work on your psychic gifts, their awakening. Train with, if you guys need people, I've got a great list of people to work with. Janice will tell you she's connected with somebody and worked with someone that's amazing. There's so many modalities out there to help you. And Janice, we got to talk about that because Victoria is something else, right? She's a really a spark plug. But you guys, please, take,
Janice, you're on mute.
you're on mute, Janice.
Yes, Victoria is quite amazing. And I'm still waiting to see that collaboration happen.
No,
That
she's
you
she's
guys
been
talked
doing
about.
something, so she's busy right now, and I've been crazy busy. We thought we were going to get together in March, April. We're going to get together soon, but it'll probably be set up something for like May. But
Yeah.
we're going to do something because the Psych K with astrology and the human design and a combination, we're going to set up a webinar that's going to blow the collective away.
It really will. It
Yeah.
really will. And I just, as an aside, Eric,
Yes.
the read that you had Sarah Strong on the other night,
Yes.
and she just knocked me back on my heels with her intuitive
Yeah.
sort
No,
of
she and I've
insights.
met her in person and we've worked together at Missy's metaphysical shop. She's She's something. She's from Australia, Gloria, but she's Sarah Strong. You go watch the podcast. I just did it 317, I think, or 316 or 315. One of the recent ones. I just did it on Tuesday. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's interesting.
Yeah. I did what she said. She told me to DM her, and I did.
Oh, good.
And so we're going to chat on Wednesday, she and
Oh, I'm
I.
excited.
I
You know,
just got to get more insight on that thing that she said about the eating the meat. Remember? She's
uh,
like, she was tapped in and she said, yeah, I don't know what your eating habits are, but they're telling me that you need to eat some meat.
yeah, and let me just say this, you guys. Two things about that, and this is even for the collective. Number one, I try my best and my darndest because the podcast is called the Knowledge is Love Astrology Podcast. And when I bring on somebody, I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but when I bring on somebody, number one, no, I've seen their chart. Number two, I've collaborated or connected or spoken to them enough to know that they are authentically the real deal. I will never try to bring on somebody that I don't feel like I could work with myself. And so I will give them a little bit of that stamp of approval. Now, I can't control any other human being, but if you feel intuitively drawn to reach out and connect and work with somebody, and I've had a lot of my clients do that, and a lot of them have found nothing but benefits and blessings, and that makes me feel good and proud. But I will say, some of these people, they may don't ever judge someone by their numbers from this matrix system. Because you'll see some people with these huge numbers, and then you meet or work with them or get an astrology reading or numerology or Reiki, and they're fugazi. I'm just saying. So base it on your intuition. Remember, I said not just become the president and leader of your own lives, you become the media. Your Lilith, your Mercury, your Pluto, that's your media. That's your intuition. Listen to those if you feel like, hey, yeah, I should work with this person. Yes, ooh, this person on Eric's podcast, ooh, wow, they're amazing. I want to connect with them, or I want to buy their products, right?
Mhm.
Um, I've used his products. I'm gonna try to get him on live, but he came on during the summer. Life the Plant Way, you know, beautiful Puerto Rican brother Joseph Octaviani. His holistic remedy stuff, his herbs and plants, everything. I've tried it. It's incredible. They work, especially his hair tonic. Oh my God! But his liver and lung cleanse. So I'm just saying that to say that like trust your intuition. Don't go on numbers and subscribers. That will always mislead you. You listen to yourself. And the second thing is, oh God, it was something you said about that. Yeah, be open to different modalities, but this is the time to start your own thing. Because that's what I want you guys to know. I can see in your chart, all of us have spiritual gifts. And a lot of them, remember, we're leaving the 3D, going to 5D. When you increase your spiritual practice, you're going to find some of your gifts come online. There's the shows that they show you on TV. This is not just entertainment. They are revealing to you the truth. This British superhero show, Supercell, I'm going to start watching it with the kids. That's not fake. Star Wars, the Jedi's, that's not fake. This is real truth that they're showing through entertainment to make you think it's not real. Just like the aliens and UFOs, okay? So remember right now with this chart, Uranus is in Taurus, a lot of downloads when you are grounding and walking in your local communities in nature. The trees, the mushrooms, the plants, they're sentient beings. Go hug a tree, ask it for wisdom and knowledge. I name my trees in my backyard and I connect with them all the time. It's made my spiritual practice better. I'm a Virgo stellium on steroids. You got to prove things to me. Yes, I have deep water faith, but the problem is with a Virgo and a Gemini, a lot of, analytical placements like that, you need evidence. And if you're one of those people, try it and see what happens. I share with you things that work for me because I'm a 1-3 generator in human design. I've got to be the mad scientist, test it out, and then if it works for me, then I've got to share it with the collective. That's what I do. Ice cold showers, I share that with people. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll never do that. But to get a lot of inflammation off the body that I feel charged, and right? People do the ice cold tub baths and then they go to the infrared sauna. That stuff works. It gets inflammation out of your body. But yes, check with the blood types. Now I remember, sometimes you guys, I went vegan, vegetarian years ago. Now I've been last few years more of a pescatarian. Just a few years ago, my mother-in-law moved in. I started to eat a little bit of the red meat again. I don't resonate with chicken and turkey anymore. That's just me. But everybody has different blood types, but also these planets shift. There may be a time where all of a sudden your body is like, you know what? You've been a frutivore or a vegetarian for a long time. You got to start bringing back in some meat. You got to start taking iron. You got to start taking minerals. You got to do pre and probiotics. You got to do the lemon water. You got to do a parasite cleanse, intermittent fasting. I'll tell you this that works. When you eat with the circadian rhythms of the sun, whoa. First meal, sometimes I delay it. When you're breaking your fast, that's all it is. And we can look in this chart. Neptune, Sun, second house, the sixth house, nothing, but it's Leo. We have got to, right, increase our connection to the fruits and veggies, but the Neptune is going to spiritually tap you into what is it that will give me the vitality to eat at this time. So just meditate on that. Maybe if you need to eat some meat, it takes 2.5 days to digest. So maybe you have meat on Monday and Friday or Thursday, twice a week, right? And maybe it's grass finished, organic, grass fed, whatever, but try it. If you haven't eaten meat for years, just maybe introduce it slowly. I feel heavy and weighted down when I do it, but there have been times where I felt like I needed a lean steak or a burger and I ate it and it felt right. But then, when I try to do it too much, I'm like, oof, I don't need that much meat. So, but it's all about balance. We got our O's, we got our B's, our AB's, our, different blood types. We've got to work with that. So Pluto in the 12th house for this chart, the subconscious mind, the downloads, right? One thing at a time with this to October 22nd, we have to be mindful. Pluto in the 12th house, you guys, sometimes we can attract in the 3D or in the spiritual realm, narcissists. Just be mindful of that. Remember, the 12th house is hidden enemies, but it's your hidden talents, right? This is where you're speaking about and tapping in. Part of fortune's here. Tapping into the spiritual business, financially, spiritually, blessings, esoteric occult knowledge, Aquarius. Pluto, shadow work, right? It's okay to go in and forgive mom, dad, everybody. It's okay to go in there and be like, ooh, I was not nice when I was 13 or 14 to my mom. By the way, 14 to 16, that's your Saturn opposition. You're not going to be nice to your parents. That's why it happens every generation after generation. That's the Saturn opposition. Does that make sense? My 15-year-old right now, he's not nice to mom and dad sometimes.
Right.
But I have to explain it to mom so she doesn't choke him out. I get it, right? She and wait, it's worse because my wife's a Pisces and he's a Virgo rising, so it's literally Saturn in the 7th house in Pisces. So he's like, rah, anything mom says, she says go left. He's like, I'm going right and down, and it makes her crazy. So, so that's what I have to manage in my own home. But I want you to
Uh-huh.
understand that for your children, your grandchildren, between 14 and 16, they're going to be loco pocos crazy and everything you say. But this is why, and you guys, it's not just for your boys, your girls too. You want to get them in 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade in sports, in groups, in organizations, so that they can speak to other adults. They will listen to their friends' parents more than your own
Mm-hmm.
parents.
Yeah,
So
for
you want to
sure.
make sure you are orchestrating the
Yep.
right adults around them. So his football coach, he's a good guy. I tell him, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
let him know
Right.
this, right?
I would just share on this.
Yeah.
Um, my daughter, my youngest child, she's a Sag just like me,
Okay.
right? But you're so spot on with that time frame between age 14 and 16
Mm.
because um my lovely sweet girl turned into somebody that I had no
You
understanding
were
of.
ready to choke her out, huh, Janice?
Wait,
Okay, go ahead.
let me just say, it came to fisticuffs.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It came, the Sag
Yeah.
energy in both of us
It can
just
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
came out. And at the time, her dad was living, um, I was not married to him at the time. We were
Right.
divorced, but he was living about 20 or 30 minutes away. And the stuff went down. Um, and she was bloody. I was bloody.
Oh
The
God.
next thing was to call the police.
Oh no.
And I called her dad on the phone.
Mm.
And I just said 3 words on the phone and I hung up. Come
Get
get her.
her. Yep.
Yeah.
Come get her.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
Because
feeling.
I knew if she stayed, if we stayed in that environment a little bit longer, it was not going to be, it would have been worse than it was. Um,
That's real. Thank you.
yeah, and
Thank you.
he was there in 20 minutes, I have to say, because he
Good
heard
for
the
him.
tone of my voice,
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
He knew.
Um, and he got her up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to do another standoff, but he was like, no, get in the car with me.
Amen.
And he got her out of there. But it's so crazy because fast forward to today, she and I are,
Best
she's my
friends.
only daughter, but we're like this.
Yeah, best
Mm-hmm.
friends, right?
Best friends,
Yeah.
absolute best buds. We talk every single day, sometimes twice a day.
Okay, so wait a minute. So now, Janice, you need to give me a call and you need to have a little 5-minute conversation with my lovely wife and let her know this story. Because it won't come
Yeah,
good from the
okay.
husband. It won't come good from the husband. It's got to come from another mother, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
For real, for real. I'm dead serious.
They all
Please.
go through that. They all go
Yeah.
through that.
I
So
do.
yeah, I'll call you.
Thank you. Okay, so this moon, remember I told you, so the 0 to 13 degrees, the lunar mansion, is the south node. So from 13 to 26, it's Venus. This moon and Chiron are in Venus. So Chiron Venus is healing the wound with yourself and the relationship with the family, childhood wounding. Second house is your family foundation, the toddler years, more associated with the father, first house more than mother. But the moon is your mother and your family. The Venus, from now to October, even if our mothers have passed on, this is where we have to, even in the spiritual realm, light a candle, whatever you say, forgive you. I love you, mom. I forgive you. If they're still living, let it go. And I know some moms and dads have done some work on all of us, right? Some have been amazing. But the little forgiveness and thank you. And if you cannot connect with them in the real world, like it was just too rough, write a letter and maybe you can burn it and you can just forgive them. It will be so healing for you between now and October with this Neptune, Sun, Chiron, and Moon. Please, you guys in the collective, take heed to this. Initiate Venus lunar mansion behind this moon. And this can even be with your children, your spouse, because the moon in the second house, it's too familiar, it's your family. Take the Neptune energy in Aries that will soften it, because the Aries moon, woof, it's hot. If you know any Aries moon people, I think we got one here today. It can get pretty emotionally explosive sometimes. But when it's in the Venus lunar mansion, its target is on being kind to yourself and trying to be kind to others. Emotionally, how do you respond? Remember, the retrograde now is in Pisces and Venus. We need to be introspective about how we're being compassionate, empathetic, and patience to ourselves and to others. But this Aries moon, I mean, this energy right here, Neptune, Sun, Chiron, and Moon in the second house for this transit to October 22nd, we have got to be mindful what we are speaking. The second house is your throat chakra, lower teeth, right? Oh, and by the way, Neptune is disease. Please. Now, this is totally separate. It just came to me, but I would definitely say, even if she wasn't my wife's tooth powder will clean your mouth and your gums so well. It will take away the morning breath. I really, I swear to you, I haven't been to the dentist in years because I floss every day. If I skip a day, I get back on it. But her tooth powder, it's like squeaky clean, takes away the morning breath. Sabalepure.com. Okay, Sabali pure.com. For real, this is Neptune.
I'm gonna say, Eric, I'm about to put my next order in. That tooth powder, I cannot be without it.
It's
It's
so,
incredible.
thank you, and I'm so
It's
glad you love it.
incredible.
But I tell her all the time. I was like, you'd have to, give me a lifetime order. Even we'll never get divorced, but if we ever did, I'm like, I still would want that stuff because she has chosen Venus, Jupiter, Aquarius, 10th house to put in the products. You have to understand, most of these corporations, they will give you some good, but they're not taking out all the bad. So you have to learn, right, whole ingredients to read your ingredient list. This Neptune here is disease. That's telling you this is the lower teeth, gum disease. So we have got to, even from now to October, not just increase our health, but we got to worry about our oral hygiene. Look, the first house, this is the upper teeth and your head, your brain, your third eye, your pineal gland. You can activate, right, your pineal gland at this time greater than probably ever. Introspection, right? But remember, Neptune's gone, but you're still dealing with Mercury, Venus, North Node, and Saturn. Your spiritual discipline will pay off.
Eric, can you just give a hack off the top of your head
Yeah.
for pineal activation
Okay.
that you
Oh
know
God.
of that is
So there's a couple that I've heard of. I would definitely YouTube videos. There's going to be way more experts than me, but I will say this: one thing that I've heard and I've tried that works. You do like a little light tapping on the pineal gland right here, but above, the third eye, the eyebrows. Remember, this is the eye of truth. These two eyes will always lie to you.
right.
This is why we can get into lust. This will prevent lust. Just like the gut is your second brain. So if you start to look from your third eye and your second brain, you will see everything clearer. So tapping, deep meditation and toning. I mean, 30 minutes to an hour. And I would even think, especially with this chart and this energy from now to October, I would try to do this in the shower in the bathtub. So I'm tapping on the head between the eyebrows, and I would be doing mantras, yoga, stretching, spirit. I mean, you could do this grounding and earthing in nature. But
Mhm.
my intuition is saying right now, do it in the water
Okay.
because we are three-fourths water. The earth is three-fourths water, and we got Mercury and Venus and Saturn and North Node and Pisces. This is the best time ever, you guys, to manifest in water. And Aquarius, it's a fixed air sign, but it's the water bearer and Pluto. So that's why we have to cleanse and purge and detox our temples at this time. All this is set up because it's almost like God is trying to fight what the nefarious ones want to do. I don't care if it's monkeypox or COVID part 3 or, this or that, or the internet going off or the power grid going down. Be prepared and ready for anything. And the best way to do that, at least 3 days a week exercise. Don't work out on Mondays and Fridays. That's the moon and Venus. It will never serve you. If you got to have a cheat day of sweets or anything bad, do it on Fridays. If you need to work out more than 3 days a week, add Wednesday and Sunday. Tuesday is upper body, Mars, your arms, shoulders, bench press, bicep curls, triceps. Thursday, Jupiter, hiking, walking, squats, leg press. Saturday, Saturn, the day of the real spiritual discipline, the Sabbath. But Saturn is the container, the bones, the lineage. Saturn, I would work a full body workout, do machines, right? Wednesday, if you want to add a fourth day, and Sunday. Why do you think the NFL plays football on Sundays? It's the day of the sun. You feel more energized on Sundays, vitality. You could run a marathon on Sundays, and they run a marathon on Sundays, not another day, it's not an accident. And the NFL plays on Sundays, not an accident, okay? So Wednesdays is what I would do the journaling, it's Mercury, but I would do jump rope, breath work, stretching, yoga, walking. You should walk 30 minutes a day anyway, but think of Wednesday as your day for your lungs, right? So, and that's another thing to activate the pineal, as you're tapping too. And remember, you get this even from the Native Americans, but it goes back to the beginning of time, right? Don't be a mouth breather. Breathe in and out of the nose. Deep breaths. And the deeper the breath, you'll start to see, you know how like the old Polaroid pictures, when you like see like the purple light or whatever, right? When it snaps, the flash, when you breathe in and out deeply from your nose and then you're tapping, and then you can, you will see like that like spiritual vortex almost open up, and you'll see the purple light and the haze, like that is going to activate it a lot. And I would try doing that by a tree in nature or in the bathtub or shower or water. So that's my
Thank you.
recommendation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So before we go, the only other thing I really want to focus on at this time too, this Jupiter, it's moving up. Remember, it leaves June 8th, 16 degrees, fourth house of home. A lot of communication and wisdom and knowledge in the home, but also guru, shaman. Tap into your own inner guru and shaman. You guys, as much as these great people and even myself, we have answers, you all have answers. Please start to believe and trust in yourselves more. Know that each one of you are spiritually gifted and amazing. And sometimes you just need a check-in with someone, and that's okay. Sometimes I get readings from people too, but I'm just saying that I want you guys, this is a good time to take the courses and classes you feel you need so that you can become at least enough of a level of an expert for yourself, right? I'm not saying don't book a chart reading with me, or don't go to a Reiki master or a psychic medium or this person or that one. Definitely go to them, because you'll get benefits, right? And Janice already shared a testimony with that. So you do get real benefits, but I want you to also know you have these abilities too. So maybe get readings, but maybe more so take the classes so you can be empowered to learn, to then share it for yourself, your children, your friends, your family, your communities. Doesn't have to become a career for you, but you can take classes to get enough wisdom that like you're helping your tribe, right? Because you all are gifted. And that's what this Uranus Taurus is about too. And just know, yeah, tap into the network. There was a movie, I saw a video clip, they were talking about the spiritual network, that the trees, they communicate and feed each other, right? If one tree has gotten more water and the other two trees around it are lacking, that tree will send the water to it, right? They just did new studies where your plants, just like your pets, they know when you're coming home within a mile to your home, the plants know and they perk up. That's crazy. But this is what I'm saying. This wisdom and knowledge is coming back online. At this time with this chart, the midheaven is in Sagittarius, right? This is the World Wide Web in terms of the network where we can tap in at work to anybody on this globe. Sagittarius midheaven. That's why you see a lot of Pisces risings that have the Sag midheaven, like a Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston, the worldwide fame and success. Beloved. Come on. You can say whatever you want. I don't care what anybody says. Beyonce's never touching. They try to hype it up. She's not touching Michael Jackson. This Sag midheaven, Michael could just wave his hand and people would fall out, pass out, and cry in every country on this, every nation on this globe. Nobody is touching MJ. Period. That's the power of the Sagittarius midheaven. It's Jupiter. It's global. The only problem with the Sag midheaven is you don't want to be preachy and teachy in your work, because people won't receive it as much. Michael played it perfectly, right? Heal the world, make it a better place. He wasn't over preaching and teaching. He was just sharing his heart. That's why he was so beloved. So I want you to get that. It's one of the most powerful midheavens. Watch my Sag midheaven video. It's pretty good, I would say. But, not much with the Scorpio ninth house, but it is an opportunity with Humia, who gave birth to the Hawaiian Islands, and the mean average position of Lilith and Vesta, where you can just transform at this time your beliefs and philosophies, your wisdom, things like that. The eighth house, though, with the real true black moon Lilith here in Libra, we got to be in Maki Maki. Connect to the herbs and crystals. Connect to the doTERRA, the ancient oils, right? We have to, hey, maybe it's time, if you've ever dreamed about it and wanted to do it, time maybe tap into microdosing or ayahuasca, or just ashwagandha and sea moss. Start putting them in your smoothies. Burdock root, right? Silage. These things can be, but just make sure you're getting it from a real place. It's very hard to tell nowadays. It's all promoted all over social media. I wouldn't suggest buying it from TikTok shop. I don't know how legit that stuff is, but I'm just saying this is the time to investigate and research that. This plays out to October 22nd. The seventh house, we're dealing with the other half, the Virgo South Node. Spiritual relationships, you guys, business partnerships. Don't be overcritical of the partners. Don't be so nitpicky. Don't be the perfectionist. No one's perfect, not in this realm. So, that's where the South Node in Virgo at this time, it's telling us to focus on our health and our gut health. The seventh house is fallopian tubes, kidneys, lower back, upper buttocks. But it's also letting you know, be less critical of the other half, but still be detailed and precise. No, if it's not spiritually jiving with you, then you got to let it go. Just another love. TKO, say goodbye to it, right? Cut that sucker off. Don't be Virgo over service to humanity and get other people taking advantage of you. That's what the South Node is for. If it's not right, then it's got to go. Cut it off. Does that make sense? So, that's pretty much, it with this chart. But I think this transit, March 30th to October 22nd, the overall summary is and the sun is kind of sextile to Jupiter, so I'd like it to be a 5-degree orb, but know that we've got to think before we react. Try not to be overly impulsive. Know that this is the time to tap into being a little softer with your I am energy, with your speech. But the Neptune, money can come in quickly, money could go out quickly. But you're going to be more imaginative, more spiritual, more creative at this time. And this is the time to be the assertive, initiating, pioneer maverick. And to heal that Chiron wound, to heal your body, to start putting the right things in us, right? Do you realize Americans deal with more poisons and toxins than any country in the world? You cannot send your products and stuff outside this country because they don't want stuff from America for the most part. They want to make sure your ingredient, the same thing. That's why Kellogg's is being sued and all the protests against Kellogg's, because what they make, the Fruit Loops and other stuff, they use organic juices and stuff like that to make the colors for the Fruit Loops in other countries. In America, they give us the dyes and the toxins and poisons. We're the only idiots that accept this. And that's why we are now awakening, and we've got to start to protest the Nestle's and the this and the that and the Walmarts and the Targets, right? Another thing, what did Michael say? All I really know is they don't really care about us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
The more you start to listen and think back, you realize, wow, was Michael kind of a prophet and telling us the truth?
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
And that's why they destroyed his name and everything, because they
Yeah.
knew what he was saying was real
Mm-hmm.
in every aspect. So Venus on the ascendant, it is retrograde. Until it ends, please don't be getting a new hairstyle now. Don't get a piercing or tattoo. Don't get a whole new wardrobe now. Just wait till the April 14th and April 7th of the Mercury retrograde. honor the retrogrades, you guys. Never fear them, but just honor them because you will regret it. You don't start a new relationship during during Venus retrograde, right? You don't start and buy a new car during this time. Now, if your car crashes and you have to, that's different. But you don't go out and be like, oh, I don't like my Volvo anymore. I want to get a Porsche or a Mercedes. No, because it's going to wind up having issues with it and stuff like that. You will regret it. So that's all I'm saying. So the 14th, some people say you want to wait till the shadow period, and that may end like more the 21st or 25th. But just respect the energies of the retrograde. Learn these planets. They're really not planets. They're light-bodied energies and frequencies that connect to our chakras in our body. That's why if you go from the sun to Pluto, even though we only go from the sun to Saturn in terms of the chakras, but the Pluto is teaching you how to transform your soul psychology. The Uranus is teaching you how your soul needs to break the social norms, be seeking the freedom and liberation, and be the rebel and black sheep, whatever house and sign your Uranus is in. The Neptune is telling you how you need to grow and evolve spiritually, right? To use your creativity, imagination. Do you understand that Leo, Pisces, that relationship, that's how we reflect back to God source energy. That's why the same thing, the fifth house is your creativity, your children, heart chakra, is also dating, romance, and fun sex. Because the act of creation is honoring God and reflecting back to God source energy. So even if you don't birth children, you can birth a screenplay, you can birth a painting, you can birth a new business. But that's how you honor God. Reflecting from your heart, creativity, that same sexual energy. That's why, like I ran track in high school. The coach would say, you don't deplete. Venus is sperm, just so you know, it's semen. You don't deplete and have sex before a sports meet. All athletes know this because you are losing your energy, your vitality, right? So just think about these things and know that, and that is a weird little connection that Leo and Pisces have. But you'll find in conjunction, there is a little bit of magic, right? I talked to you about these unhealthy bubbles, Virgo, Aquarius, and the in conjunction is a 150-degree orb, right? So, it's right the sign before the opposition. So in this case, right, it's not Pisces, Virgo, it's Pisces, Leo, like I was just saying, first to sixth house, okay? And so just know that there's an unhealthy bubble that the in conjunction creates with one another, a misunderstanding, but there's also this energy that they share that is like, when they come together, may not always be good for the love, but could be good for the work or the friendship. So just think of it that way, okay? So this was so much fun, you guys. Any questions before we get out of here with Neptune, Aries? And just think, the part of fortune is spiritual and or financial blessings. When we look at it in the lens of like zodiac or releasing, the part of fortune is the health. The Eros, E-R-O-S, is the relationships. I don't know where it is right now. I thought I clicked it in this chart. I think it was in transit in Pisces. But, yeah, that's Eros. I see it lately. But that's going to be the love and the relationships. The spirit is for the business and the career. Okay? So, these are just other things and to think about. We got the Spica and Libra. That's about the creativity. It's like a Venus-Mercury energy. But overall, we have got to know our I am energy is powerful. We can quantum leap and jump. And this is the time to create the new realities for our lives. Okay? Any thoughts or questions? Yeah, and this is the spirit here in Gemini. Okay? Right now. So that's like literally with the Jupiter, become the guru and start your own business from your home. There you go. There's a lot of energy for that right now, a lot of energetic support for people to learn and then become the teacher, right? Remember Anne talked about the ninth house, Pisces, midheaven, the mentor, the teaching. right? Well, that's what the Jupiter is, the guru, the shaman, wisdom, philosophies, beliefs. But then you learn the knowledge in Sagittarius season, and then in Aquarius season, the sextiles always do this. Then you pour out the wisdom and knowledge. Okay? So, any questions before we go with Neptune and Aries? Remember, this goes from March 30th to October 22nd. And the Saturn on the ascendant, please guard your aura and your energy. Come home, wash the hands, wash the face, change the clothes. This energy, you're an energetic sponge. Mercury, Venus retrograde in the first house at this time, even to October 22nd, you also have to watch who you're giving your energy to, right? If your intuition tells you the Lilith and Libra, which is strong, it's perfect. This is not an accident. Look at this. The Lilith and Libra is telling you intuitively, see who you're relating to, see who you're talking to, see who you're listening to, the movies and music, the magazines, the music, all that, right? And then Mercury, Venus, and Saturn is telling you, guard and protect your energy. Should you be listening to all this trap and crazy, listen, I grew up with hip hop, but even for me, some of the old stuff I used to listen to, and it comes on now, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of too much cursing. Like I just don't want that right now. You'll find that your energy, it's going to shift. So protect it, honor it. It's okay to make changes, right? It's okay to say, oh, I used to love watching these murder movies and stuff like that. And now you're just like, they just don't hit the same. You can change. You can
Right.
watch something else. It's okay,
Exactly.
right?
And it should change.
It should change. Thank you, Robin. It should. As you spiritually grow,
Yeah.
you can't show up in the same places, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can't go around the block where they're like slinging, coke and heroin and shooting dice
Mm-hmm.
anymore. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
hi, you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and just keep it moving. Like you can't sit and talk for 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yo, what's up, Miss Robin? You know what I'm saying? Oh, here, just smoking this blunt and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
had to smack this N-word and this and that or whatever. And you're like, oh, okay, well, have a good day. Bye. Right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't hit the same
Right.
anymore.
Especially when I can't see the plants you grew for it.
Right,
Out.
right. The fruit
I'm
that you,
just
yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
But you know what I
exactly.
mean. I'm being
Where,
silly.
and
But
Robin,
true.
Robin, you hit that, right? You will see. Oh my God, thank you for Robin. Oh, you just dropped the jewel, girl. Listen, the Ceres and Pisces, you're gonna see, right? The fruit that people are bearing. What are they harvesting in their lives? Neptune, Sun, Moon, Chiron, and Aries, right? This is your food and your speech. The veil in Aries is going to be so thin, you're going to see what people are giving birth to. You will see their fruits of their labor. You will see their intention. You'll see their blessings. If it's not vibing with you, it doesn't mean you're being mean or hateful. You could just be like, hey, have a great day. I can't talk right now. Bye. Same thing with the Jupiter Gemini. You're on your house, you're on the phone, you're cooking in the kitchen, you're talking to your old girlfriend, you're catching up, and her first 5 minutes of conversation are talking bad about everybody you know and negative and gossip. You'll be like, hey girl, my stuff is burning. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay? Like give yourself permission to do that. For real. Oh girl, I gotta go. This
Yeah.
this salmon is burning. I don't like my food burn. I gotta go. Bye. Oh, somebody's at my door. Oh, they knocking like crazy. I gotta go. It's okay. If you don't want hurt feelings, and maybe, hey, I don't get into lying, maybe it's just a little white lie, whatever, but whatever you got to do to protect your energy field, your aura, Saturn, your aura on the ascendant, please do it and don't feel bad about it. Okay? Ceres and Pisces, that's what I was hitting on, right? This is how you nurture and care, but it's in the first house. Unconditional love for yourself. That's what's going to get us through October. And honestly, I think in a way we kind of need this chart to get us through October. So take advantage of it, you guys. Spiritual discipline, introspection. It's a lot easier. Remember, earth and water, feminine, mutable water. Mercury, Venus retrograde. Even though this retrograde ends the 7th and the 14th of April, it's really not ending. When you look at this chart for this Neptune energy, it's not ending in a way. It's hidden, it's underlined, it's very subconscious. the Mercury and Venus retrograde's not really ending in a way till October 22nd. So I'm not saying you can't take action till then. Of course you can. When it ends, it ends. But when I think of it for the Pisces I am energy, no. Be introspective to October 22nd about the self-love, about your words, about your values, about your relationships, about your entertainment. Doesn't that make sense? It's actually kind of beautiful when you think about it. So honor this Neptune in Aries chart and really try to practice the compassion, empathy, grace, and mercy for self first, children, spouses, friends, parents afterwards. But the spiritual discipline will set you free and protect you at this time, you guys, okay? So, yeah, so now we're done. Any questions before we say goodbye with everything in Neptune and Aries and just all these energies?
No, that was a lot, so I know I'll listen to the tape.
Yeah.
But I did do an order, by the way.
Okay,
So
cool.
probably.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, you were really,
So
yeah. The tooth
good.
powder, the deodorant, the oils, it's, yeah. And, oh my gosh, this is deep. And I just sent her a video so she could do like a little video teaching about it. But I just saw this video of this woman online saying something so deep. So you know our skin absorbs anything we put on it, the lotions, the chemicals, within 26 seconds. But you notice the skin on our lips? It's different from our body skin. It absorbs and goes through the barrier of our brains. So you better watch the lipsticks you're putting on. This is how they affect the women. This is why my mother went from breast cancer to brain cancer, okay, from 95 to 04. But you gotta be mindful, women. These products that they give you are yucky. They're terrible. So please, you know, like her organic lip balms, you eat what you put on your lips. So make sure you're putting healthy stuff on your lips, ladies, please. Even the chapsticks. That's why her lip balms are so like, it's so good. Okay, because whatever you're putting on your lips, you're really eating it. So you don't want stuff going to your brain. All right? We don't want these yucky toxins. We want to be organic and chemical free and vegan. Sorry, I get emotional. My mom got that breast to brain cancer was I took care of her over 20 years, so about 20 years. So it hits my heart and my soul because if I could have gotten to prevent her from getting the cancer, and that kind of inspired my wife to make the products because my wife was the champion and did extended my mother's life and took better care of her than I could because I got sick in 2013. Okay, so just know.